Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. Today is still Thursday the 15th of December 2016. Now I'm coming to you from outside, so there may be some various noises that pop in. Obviously I have no control over any of those, but I just feel when I'm inside there's a bit of an echo due to the fact that the room that I'm recording in is all tiled and walled, so it's very reflective on sound. But I'm only at this location for another couple of days and then I'm moving on. So following on from the previous video, which actually I believe has quite a big bearing as well inside of this cryptocurrency news, which obviously I will cover from time to time, because something I'm developing and understanding more is how this technology is going to become a massive player in our futures. Now following on from how all these agendas are moving from what was once cash societies into this cashless societies, trying to funnel all the currencies around the world into the banking systems and institutions. Now one form of obviously this cashless society and this conversion into this digital age that we are actually at the birth and cycle of. This is the beginning phase. So this is critical that people take the time to try and educate themselves and understand what exactly crypto is. What kind of benefits is it going to have in tomorrow's world? How are things being shaped, built, designed and implemented? And that's why this is an extremely important topic, which also has direct reflection into obviously your financial security and futures. So I'll just read a few articles and obviously interject some views and opinions as we go along. So these articles are coming from the Crypto Coins News, and this one is dated the 14th of December 2016. Microsoft announces Asia's first blockchain consortium in Taiwan. Technology giant Microsoft has announced the formation of what it calls Asia's, quote, first and most advanced consortium blockchain network, end quote, to use its Azure cloud platform in Taiwan. Now obviously we're aware that Bill Gates is behind the blockchain technology, and they can see that it is going to shape global transactions. So they're getting into this early, as well as many banks globally, with a focus on the fintech sector, wherein blockchain technology is primed to bring disruption to the banking industry. Microsoft has partnered with industry firm AMIS and the Technology Research Institute of Taiwan to form the new consortium. Additionally, Microsoft has also collaborated with a number of regional banks to push blockchain technology in Taiwanese financial market. Partner banks include Ubon Financial, Cathay Financial Holdings, Megabank, CGT, CTBC Bank, and Tyson. So these firms, which are inside the Taiwanese financial markets, and I can recognize this one because that's part of the airline that I took a flight out from the UK here to the Philippines. Now Cathay Financial Holdings are actually the parent company that hold all sorts of investments globally. They hold everything from hotel chains to financial services to airlines, and this is a mega corporation which is so diversified across the globe that it sees that this move is vital for future transactions. The consortium aims to bring increased efficiency with lower costs and faster settlements in Taiwan, and that's something that obviously the blockchains are aiming towards, creating sort of smart contracts and instant settlements, whereas in the traditional banking systems these take days to process, end of night settlements, whereas these things happen instantaneous. Newly touted features, to-pay payments, cross-field integration among multiple industries, and community payment apps for the public sector. So you can see that they're trying to integrate now into the public sector. Danny Ting, Microsoft National Technology Officer in Taiwan, said in a statement, quote, blockchain is a catalyst that promotes cross-section collaboration. At the moment, companies incur high costs when they perform any cross-organization transactions, and this can be solved using blockchain technology. Now obviously, as we're aware, when you're transferring sums from one side of the world to the other, and it's converting, say, from one currency to another, you obviously end up incurring charges and costs, and this process is normally a delayed wire transfer. Now obviously, by doing this via blockchain, you can eliminate time and costs, which obviously in a mega corporation business is a big deal and will seriously improve profitability on the bottom line. Microsoft's new partnerships in Taiwan could help push blockchain adoption in the country. And obviously, if this is implemented, which obviously Microsoft believes it is, and Microsoft obviously won't partner and inject funds, inject the capacity into something which they deem not likely to work. So a case of everybody is now jumping into this blockchain situation and development process in order to not be left behind in this wave. Leveraging the Azure platform and Ethereum, fintech firm AMIS will use the Azure cloud platform to offer and implement its blockchain solutions that can also be leveraged to IoT, Internet of Things, capabilities. The announcement by Microsoft added, Azure's compliance with international ISO standards is touted as one of the reasons for AMIS to choose the platform. The interoperable functionality is its scalability and the availability of public, private, and hybrid cloud models also makes it a viable platform for AMIS. The consortium's first collaborative endeavor will see a pilot blockchain developed using ITRI's Taiwan-specific technology alongside Azure. More specifically, the AMIS choose the Ethereum network and code to develop a quote pre-missioned blockchain end quote, which it deemed is a technology infrastructure specific to the requirements of Taiwan's financial market. Microsoft's Azure platform will provide cloud computing to enhance efficiency of the operation, while the ITRI will help create an API application program interface for interoperability in the ledger. The Azure platform has already been put to the test during blockchain pilots, most notably with R3's intercontinental banking experiment earlier this year. Spanning 11 banks, the blockchain test ran continuously over a 5-day period, whilst hosted on a private virtual network on the Azure cloud. Come April, Microsoft had joined the R3 consortium and became the banking group's preferred cloud services platform. Microsoft's latest fintech announcement in Asia comes within days after announcing the launch of its blockchain as a service BaaS offering on its Azure platform in India. And obviously we're aware of what is occurring obviously down in India with the currency implications and the gold acquisitions that the public are now making, as well as the gold confiscations which is occurring. There's a huge uptake occurring in the Bitcoin industry and obviously the blockchain technology down in India. So this is a globally expanding thing which is now uncontainable by the establishment. So they've understood that they have dropped the ball and this thing has become too huge for them to crush down and prevent from growth. And it is the end of their fiat systems. So they're having to adapt, and the way they are adapting is by the age-old saying, if you can't beat them, join them. So what they're going to attempt to do via the banking industries is to create their own versions of a cryptocurrency and high-speed settlement services for their new financial systems that they're going to be implementing after the next financial crisis, when everything gets reset, destroyed. Large capitals obviously destroyed in that process, and this will be the new system that is offered to people. And what I believe is happening regarding this removal of cash, which is all part of a desensitization program, where because people have relied on the ability of having fiat currencies, cash inside of their wallets, in conjunction with obviously plastic being debit and credit cards. This is a subject where people have to be taught and trained that no longer will you have fiat currencies. And the benefit of teaching people and reprogramming them via indoctrination processes and capital controls and penalising the so-called black markets is by removing these fiat currencies from circulation, slowly but surely removing them, forcing people back into digital forms for multiple reasons. Obviously, tax being one, monitoring being the other. So they will obviously be able to track and trace every single person's purchases, movements, where they're going, where these transactions are being authorized, being able to profile people on spending habits, which obviously already happens. But the ultimate agenda is to remove this currency, retrain people's brains into only understanding digital transactions, things that you see on a computer screen. And then that is a complete entrapment because you have no physical form of trading. Everything is controlled by either a flash drive, a card, a piece of plastic, or perhaps even an RFID chip implanted into you with all of your either cryptocurrency or however they describe it being the new world currency inside of a chip inside of your body, which obviously we know is an agenda which they are pushing for. So back over to this next article, published on the 13th. Bitcoin breakout looks very likely. In my opinion, Bitcoin is on the edge of a breakout on multiple timeframes and on a multiple bull setups. Price time is on the edge of pushing past arc resistance. There is a lot of room to the upside before the next arc appears. Here is the 8-hour chart. This one I find quite intriguing. Price time is about to push its way through 5th arc resistance. It has been clawing its way up for weeks now. Price time met the 5th arc and had every excuse handed to it to fail, but it chose not to. Indeed, it is simultaneously about to clear the 5th arc pair, and apparently also about to get close above the $780 swing high. In my opinion, this is very bullish. I have witnessed that on many occasions, that in cases like this, when price clawed its way through every resistance, and finally clawed its way through 5th arc resistance, a major bull rally began. Indeed, this was exactly the scenario in both the great bull run of 2013 in Bitcoin, and also in Ethereum this spring. Will it happen again? I can't say for sure, but I would strongly urge anyone who is short in this market to close their positions at once. Here is a daily chart. And for people that have technical ability for chart reading, the wedge pattern always generally breaks out in the last 1/3. So it's either going to break out majorly to the upside, or there's going to be a serious retracement occurring. Now obviously this analysis is trying to state that this will break out way above what it is now, for the following reasons. Here we see on the daily chart that price time is at the 2nd arc of the 3rd arc pair. The blue vertical line indicates that we are now exactly 180 degrees from the $780 swing high day. What a fitting day to break out. The 5th arc on this chart setup is in the $1,020 area, plus minus. However, it depends on how soon price time gets there to determine the price at which it meets the arc. And guys, a lot of this will probably not be meaning a great deal to you. But if you put this into relation to the Webbot and Cliff High's expectations for the rally that is going to be occurring through the Bitcoin markets, he is anticipating that a few months ago the Bitcoin is going to hit 488 and never return down, which clearly it has not done in the past few months. And now it has rallied up to 780, where Cliff has anticipated that it's going to break through the 1,000 before then coming back down to 800 for a short period, before then taking off again, to never then retrace that value. So what does this actually mean to you guys that are listening? Well, the indicators, not only from this guy, but also from the Webbot reports, are claiming that now is the time that the Bitcoin is going to go from the 780 mark past 1,000. This is starting to become like eerily predicted through Webbot. Everything so far on the Bitcoin anticipation has materialized. So it would be prudent now for people who haven't yet invested anything into this alternative speculative market, if you want to put it that way, it is wise to just put a small portion into this as a protection system, and you'll quite likely profit from it. But something else to obviously bear in mind is the other aspect that comes from the webbot, which is when the Bitcoin goes to the $1,000 area and then retraces to the 800. That is the time zone where gold and silver will skyrocket in value. That is what the webbot is predicting. So judging by the events that are occurring and how the Bitcoin market is moving, I feel very confident in saying that I believe this is the time that people should seriously be watching these markets and putting a position down so you can obviously capitalize and protect yourself from the devaluations that occur inside the fiat currencies. So carrying on with this next article, which is China outpaces New York, Silicon Valley in fintech future of Bitcoin, 13th of December. Multi-billion-dollar research firm Ernst & Young and Singaporean bank DBS recently released a collaborative report entitled, quote, "The Rise of Fintech in China, Redefining Financial Services," end quote, PDF, which obviously, guys, you can get at this website. Click this link here and you will have the report. I've got a copy myself, which I will dig into shortly. To provide insights of the explosive growth of fintech in China and to evaluate the world's undisputed leader in fintech. After thorough collaborative research, researchers, analysts and financial consultants at EY and DBS concluded that China has outpaced London, New York, Silicon Valley, Singapore, Hong Kong and other leading global fintech hubs by a significant margin. Neil Cross, DBS Chief Innovation Officer, stated that the rapid growth rate of the Chinese fintech industry can be attributed to favourable regulations and policies imposed by the local government of fintech startups and networks. And that's obviously something that is occurring globally at the moment, guys, is fintech startups and networks. There is so much time, resources, effort and money being put into this industry that this is definitely going to materialise in the future into being the core foundation for financial transactions. So that is the exact reason why you need to get understanding what is occurring here, because this is probably one of the greatest wealth transfer options that you can grasp in this extremely developing time that we're fortunate to find ourselves in. And obviously a lot of people will think, well, we're not fortunate. Everything's been done, everything's been created, everything's controlled, everything's manipulated. Well, there's certain things that are niche markets, and this is obviously the very infancy because it's less than a decade old. And a lot of the backbone industry has been designed, has been built, has been implemented, and is on a severe growth phase. Yet, the majority of the population don't know anything about this. So that's where, if you're listening to this video now, you're a very small, fortunate group that have the ability to do very well for themselves, if only on a small speculation process. I mean, what's going to happen otherwise with leaving your fiat currencies where they are? They're only going to devalue, they're only going to erode. So why not help create something which might have the ability of correcting this corrupt financial industry, especially through the more anonymous type forms of cryptocurrencies. So carrying on, Cross also noted that another major factor behind the growth of the Chinese fintech market is the increasing support from tech giants like Alibaba, Tencent, Baidu. Quote, "It's gotten this far because China's landscape has operated in a sandbox-like environment, conducive to fintech to thrive. A strong domestic market coupled with a constant push for innovation and experimentation driven by leading giants, underhindered by international influence," end quote, says Cross. Drivers of fintech in China and market focus. Currently, the fintech industry in China is dominated by two major markets, payments and remittances and insurance. 40% of banking services. Customers rely on fintech platforms and applications to settle both domestic and international payments, and around 35% of bank customers utilize smart AI-based fintech services to deal with insurance. The EY and DBS research team states that one of the key drivers of fintech in China is the limited capacity of banking systems and services that continuously fail to meet the financial needs and demands of the Chinese people. Quote, at 20%, current retail loan penetration is also one of the lowest in the world. 1 in 5 of China's adult population remain unbanked. In fact, many Chinese do not have existing banking relationships, as evidenced by the fact that National Credit Bureau only has information on less than 20% of the population, end quote, the research paper stated. More importantly, alternative financial technologies and services the Chinese people has begun to use has better online experience, functionality, lower fees, and less requirements for account registration, penetrating a significantly larger population and consumer base in China. Another fintech driver in China is the rapid increase in the number of internet users. And obviously, again, guys, this is going globally because internet is spreading in many parts of the world which never had it before, with smartphone technology, which only increases the ability for people to have the download of applications which run these sort of systems. So this is only going to spike further. Despite the local government's crackdown on certain platforms and nationwide censorship of websites, the user base of internet applications and mobile phone users grow exponentially over the past decade. Since 2014, the usage rate of mobile payment applications grew another 13.6%, with the 57.7% of all internet users using mobile payment applications, which is obviously, guys, is huge. What this means for Bitcoin. Still, conventional financial applications and platforms have higher fees, lower security measures, and excessive KYC policies compared to Bitcoin services. This is because most financial applications depend on fiat or government-issued money to operate. Thus, more time goes into the verification and authentication of payments and users. Bitcoin applications and platforms, however, enable instantaneous payments with virtually no KYC requirements. While exchanges do comply with KYC policies, the majority of applications in the Bitcoin wallet market does not, as direct trading of cryptocurrencies doesn't fall under the Chinese money transmission regulations. As an increasing number of bank users switch to mobile or online payment applications in China, the global Bitcoin user base will most likely see a recognizable increase. And something that obviously will attract the general public into this when it becomes a mainstream topic is just understanding and seeing the charts on how values of this cryptocurrency Bitcoin, for instance, compares to the fiat currencies globally, and also the precious metal markets currently. Because obviously this is a decentralized currency, it doesn't have any influence from the states that control the fiat monies, the fiat government monies. So that is why you're seeing a rally, especially in this Bitcoin market, because the money that is flooding in is because people are flooding away from holding the fiat currencies. And when people start to see the figures and percentage gains that this bull market is creating, people will obviously jump onto that growth rate, because obviously who wants to continue holding a devalued currency when you can convert it into a portfolio inside of the cryptocurrency that increases in value in comparison to obviously fiat currency. But the thing about understanding this is, forget about what things are valued at in fiat currencies, because this is the greatest delusion and misunderstanding that people associate with investing in things. Because items like cryptocurrencies and precious metals are exactly what they are. They're a store of value. They are divisible, and you can trade those items outside of the current systems. And when the current systems are preparing for financial catastrophe, then you are left with only two options of what to invest in. It's the next technology, and it's the previous age-old protection that people should be investing in. That's the portfolios that you should be holding that are going to do nothing but increase and preserve current capital values in fiat currency terms, which ultimately means you're going to be able to buy more by investing in these things now. So following on with this next article, blockchain rewards platform to pilot in Dubai. Loyal A New York-based blockchain-based loyalty and rewards platform has snagged a contract with Dubai Holding, a multinational investment conglomerate. This partnership is a part of the Dubai Future Accelerators program, the government-supported accelerator program that has notably pinned blockchain technology front and center. According to the announcement, the tie-up will see a blockchain pilot deployed toward loyalty programs in both business-to-customer B2C and corporate B2B propositions of Dubai Holdings. Loyal's proprietary blockchain and smart contract solutions will be used, and the startup sees partners likes of IBM, Deloitte, the Hyperledger Project, and now the Dubai Future Foundation. In statements, Ahmed bin Bayat, managing director of Dubai Holdings, said, quote, Loyal will be leading a pilot deployment to create initiative, feasible and cost-effective solutions for enhancing the interaction between the group's businesses, ultimately enhancing our offerings to customers and business partners. Saif Al-Aliyi, CEO of Dubai Future Foundation, a founding member of the Global Blockchain Council, stated, quote, We established the Global Blockchain Council here in Dubai less than a year ago and are already seeing impressive advancements in the uptake of this technology. We are pleased by Loyal's progress with Dubai Points, their partnership with the private sector, and we look forward to working even closer with them as they bring the blockchain future to reality, end quote. The executive added. The most notable blockchain endeavour by the Dubai government so far is its pledge to see all government documents on a blockchain by the end of the year 2020. And guys, when you're talking about a loyalty and rewards platform, you can also see how this is probably going to relate into loyalty cards, which are obviously something a lot of businesses and business people use on a daily basis. When they check into their hotels, when they catch a flight, when they pay for something on their credit cards, they all collect loyalty points, which obviously goes into paying them out some sort of reward that they require later on. Now that is obviously something that's going to occur, especially with Cathay Financial Holdings, which obviously runs the airline. So if you imagine, instead of paying in fiat currencies, they're going to accept payment in cryptocurrencies, which obviously limits any sort of overhead cost, and especially if governments are unable to tax Bitcoin transactions or some other form of cryptocurrency which might take its place. Who knows what's going to happen obviously in the future. But this will limit costs incurred, which increases obviously profitability. So you can see how obviously reward cards could be implemented throughout the entire industry of everything that we purchase for fiat currency into today's market. And obviously with all these banking institutions, with all these massive mega corporations, IBM, Microsoft, the list just goes on and on and on and on. You could even see this linking into your local grocery market where you pay for your shopping, your food shopping on a daily basis or on a weekly basis by using some form of cryptocurrency, which can be obviously settled instantly via debit card transaction. There's obviously companies out there now who have debit cards that you can load your cryptocurrency onto and use on any MasterCard outlet. So this is reality, this is coming. This isn't going to be washed away. So I'll just start to wrap it up here with a $20 million Bitcoin fund launched by Chinese investor Haiying Group, published again 13th of December. Bitcoin startups are due to see a windfall investment after multi-billion-dollar Chinese investment firm Haiying Group announced the launch of its Bitcoin and blockchain-specific subsidiary fund, Haiying Blockchain Ventures (HBV). As stated on its website, the new subsidiary fund will partner, quote, with initiative startups and entrepreneurs to help them grow and define the future of the blockchain economy, end quote. So guys, people are investing vast amounts into startup companies because they just know that this is going to be tomorrow's market. There is now hundreds of millions of dollars being pumped into this crypto market. So it's here to stay, guys. It's going to be evolving, it's going to be changing, and it's up to you to understand it and evolve with it. Or otherwise you'll be left behind, unable to obviously benefit from the growth that is currently occurring. I'm not sure of the actual figures of the amount of the populations that are currently inside of cryptocurrencies, but I'd imagine it's even smaller than the gold and silver investments. And we all know how much of an investment that is going to be when this system flips and changes. So thank you so much for watching, guys. I'll leave this video there. And please feel free to share your comments, views, opinions, and share this if you can on any form of media. I'll see you on my next video. Thanks a lot.